Isha Khan Chaudhary is now joining me on the story. Very clearly, we can see what's happening in West Bengal. Questions are now being raised with regards to what's happening. The government says things are under control, but the centre is now pointing fingers at the Chief Minister.
Yes, I have actually just visited the area. I have not visited any disturbed areas because the police, I don't want to attract any attention of big gatherings. So I had just gone to my office there and gone to the police station. And I met the Director General Police of West Bengal also. And we had a discussion regarding the, situation is improving, I think, from the last 2 days. What I feel was the situation began with a demonstration against the Waqf Bill itself. It was a peaceful demonstration in the beginning. Somehow some, I think, youngsters, managed to infiltrate the demonstration and, the situation went out of control. But the original demonstration had nothing to do with religion. The original demonstration, which was conducted by one NGO, local NGO, they were seeking the support of all communities. It was nothing communal at all. Unfortunately, it went out of hand. Some youngsters joined into their procession, and I believe the situation went out of hand. After that, also, both communities, the other communities, majority community in one village also got involved and started, So both mosques and mandirs have been damaged. But I want to give you the history, very brief history of this area of Dulian in Murshidabad under my Malda Dakshin constituency. It has a very safe history, history of brotherhood between the communities. We've never seen something like this before. It's very saddening that there is this type of violence. My appeal is to everybody that there should not be religious politics should not be brought into the equation. I believe this is largely a law and order problem, and it will be solved as a law and order problem.
Mr. Chaudhary, questions are still being asked about Hindus. They are the ones who at the moment are fleeing their homes. What more do you think can be done? Because the state government is saying things are all right, but the central government, and obviously we can see it on our visuals also, saying that things are not fine in the state of West Bengal.
Well, you see, my main concern is that these type of issues, like I said, the people who are responsible for this from any community, from any background, it's not a question of Muslim or Hindu or anything like that. Any background who has been involved in destruction of property or destruction of houses should be, of course, investigated and arrested and dealt with by the law severely. That is what our Congress party stance is. And that is there. But again, it was a very small group of people on both sides who were involved in making this into something bigger. It was in the beginning, it was a very small group of people. It was not large groups of people. We have to make sure that this does not spread in any way and that this does not become, Hindu versus Muslim religious issue. This is what many political parties want, that this issue should be aggravated and worsened, and that the community should be divided. We do not, as Congress people, we do not favor a divide and rule policies. This Dulian people have existed for hundreds of years peacefully together. We want them to exist for hundreds of more years together without any community division. That is my main appeal to everyone. And for this, we are asking for a all-party peace meeting. So all parties can get involved and ensure that peace prevails. And as quickly as possible, as you said, people have become homeless. That's a very unfortunate thing that we want them to return home at the earliest, and we want peace at the earliest.
Right. Thank you, Isha Khan, for joining me on the story. He's someone who's visited the places and said that at the moment the administration is making sure that things are brought under control. The rioting is now stopped. My colleague Indrajit is also joining me on the story. Indrajit, we have heard many people and they are saying that the accused were barely 13, 14-year-old. This is something which is shocking. The question a lot of people are now asking, where is the government and what is actually being done to make sure that in other parts this kind of violence is not seen in the state of West Bengal?
Well, Aishwarya, it is true, what we have seen, and there are images that we have been able to retrieve from the victims of this violence. There are CCTV footages we have shown on our network of the attack that took place day before yesterday. And those who were caught on CCTV footage in some of these households that were attacked clearly show that these were teenagers, youngsters who were actually carrying out this attack. Now, who are these teenagers, these youngsters who have suddenly run amok in this area is something that the administration and the police is trying to figure out. The police yesterday told us that more than 100 people, 118 people have been arrested. 15 policemen are also injured is what the police has told us. After yesterday's High Court order, more reinforcements have been put in place. In fact, I just, visited the victim's house with two men, Aurobindo Das and Chandan Das. They are the victims of this violence. I visited their village just a short while back, and what I found out was the BSF personnel, about a few of them, were manning that village at this point in time. The police have taken the bodies away for post-mortem. So we saw the Central Force deployed in that village right now. In several other pockets, Central Force is assisting the state police to bring law and order under control. As I said, senior police officials, which includes the Director General of Police of West Bengal, Rajiv Kumar, and other ADG rank officers are in Murshidabad right now in violence-prone Jangipur Lok Sabha constituency, and they are overseeing the entire security arrangement so far. Thankfully, overnight, we haven't heard of any fresh incidents of violence right now. It's Sunday today. The roads are deserted in that affected area. All shops are closed at this point in time. And in several areas where, bikes, motorcycles and vehicles had been set on fire, those things have been removed by the police this morning, and slowly a semblance of normalcy is returning in that area. However, the area does remain tense, and things are slowly returning to some amount of normalcy and calm and peace. And there hasn't been any major incidents of violence reported over the last 24 hours, or at least in the last night. Aishwarya.
Indujit, was the violence sudden, or do you think that this was something which was in the planning for a long time ago? Because that is what a lot of political parties at the moment are saying, that this was not sporadic. What is your assessment on the ground?
Well, look, Aishwarya, it's independent. It's very difficult to verify whether this was a pre-planned, orchestrated attack. But clearly, what eyewitnesses have told us is that there were attacks that took place simultaneously in various locations, in Shuti, in Shamsherganj, in Dhulian, in various parts. And mostly, it was the involvement of young, crowd. When we went to the victim's house, they said that many of them who had actually come with the mob to attack from in and around areas, they had their faces masked, they had their faces covered in cloth. So it was difficult for them to identify who those people were. So it's for the administration now to actually investigate the matter. But there were apprehensions that there could be flare-ups across the state in the run-up to Ram Navami and the week between Ram Navami and Hanuman Jayanti yesterday. And that's the reason why the state administration had been on vigil. If you hear Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's speech over the past 1 week, at various events, she had expressed her apprehension that there could be violence. And she had, of course, blamed the opposition political parties. But beyond the politics, the state administration was aware that something was cooking up, that there is a possibility of violence, and that's the reason why you saw hundreds and thousands of Ram Navami and Hanuman Jayanti processions taken out across various districts in the state, and they were provided with security. But what happened in Murshidabad was this anti-Waqf movement and people coming out on the streets after Friday prayers to protest. Those protests that happened on Friday, last Friday, they did not have police permission, and that resulted in a lot of chaos and violence and arson and looting, and eventually leading to the loss of 2 lives now, Aurobindo and Chandan Das, who have now perished in this riot.